everyone, Karen here. Today we're going to have a short video on how to work with text using your Cricut. So let me get this camera turned around and we will get started. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down to 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth item on the menu, on the side menu, which says text. We're going to click on that. And it brings up this blue box with the word text. As long as it's blue, you can just start typing and it will fill in. It will get rid of the word text. So once you type in, it's automatically going to give you the Cricut Sans font. But if you look up here where it says font, if you open this box here, it gives you choices. The first choice is Cricut. So those are all the Cricut fonts that are available that you've purchased or can purchase. The system ones are all the ones that you own on your computer. So those aren't going to cost you anything to use. The third choice is bookmarked. And here will be, if you find a font that you like and you find that you're using it a lot of times, you can bookmark it by coming over here. I'm going to go back to system. And I'm just going to pick one here, and this little thing here that looks like a little bookmark, you just click that. And then when you come over here to bookmark, it will show up. This is the one I just bookmarked over here. So that way you don't have to scroll through all of them to find what you're looking for. There's also a recent tab, which will show you anything you've used recently. All right, so we close that. Let me come back to our box. And I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go to System. And I'm going to pick, let's see, we'll pick this one. And now you can see our font has now changed, which we have to highlight the box to be able to see the type of font it is. And it's this one here. So if you want to change it, you highlight the box, come up here again. I'm going to pick System since that's the ones that I own. I'm going to scroll down. I'll find one that looks a little different. So it's obvious. That's what we've changed. This one is called Aber Brush. I will close the box, and it switched it to that. Now the other things you can do is you can change the font size by coming up here, where the third choice over here from the left is font size, and you can either just scroll through it one by one by touching the up and down arrows, or you can just put in the numbers yourself and it will change it. You can change the style of the text box. Depending on the font you're using, it will give you different choices. Letter spacing, you can spread your letters out by making the number bigger. Let's make it a 10, just to make it obvious. Or if you want to make them closer together, we'll go back to 0. If you keep scrolling down, use the down arrow, it becomes negative numbers, and the numbers become even closer. Now you would want to use this if you're going to cut out letters and you want them touching, so you only have to cut out one piece. You would just use that, and you could just keep scrolling until your letters touch. That got a little too close. There we go. So now they would just touch right here. So let's say we had, let's click on here again. Make a space. I'm going to hit enter to go down to the next line. And I'm just going to type in hello, just for the sake of having 2 lines. So now when we highlight the box, we can come up here to line spacing. And here it's showing its line spacing of 1. And that's kind of far away. So let's go ahead and start making this smaller numbers. Now we're negative numbers. That is still not moving very much. I think we're in a lag here. All right, let me change it to -6. And see there, now we get closer. So now let's go, that's still not touching, so let's go to -8. Go to -9, there we go. Now we finally have it to touch. So now our 2 rows are touching. So now what we can do is let's come over here to the next button and hit a line. And it's in the center, so it's already centered for us, so we don't have to do anything for that. And our font size is 60. It's going to be kind of big. But then, if you want to cut this out as one piece, let me move my picture here. We are going to come over here to combine. We're going to weld it together. There it goes. It's just being a little slow. So now this is all one piece. So now, if we click over to make it, I'm going to tell it I'm just using a regular mat, 12 by 12. You can see now that it's showing up here, and you can see the white lines. Let me zoom in a little bit. The white lines is how it's going to cut out. So this will cut out as one big piece, because you can see the H is connected here and here, the I is connected here, and that's connected, the L's are connected, the O is connected, the E is. So this is all going to cut out in one piece. So then you can attach it to your card. Now let me go back and cancel. And this is where I was talking about in my other video, you could then take this after you, this is another button. So up here, the basic cut. So that's going to tell me I'm just going to use a regular cut. You could pick a wavy cut or a perforated cut if you didn't want to cut it all the way out, or if you wanted to give it a little bit of an edge. But usually with fonts, you're just going to keep it as a basic cut. You could also pick down here, print and cut, which would print this out in black on your computer, and then you could cut it out if you didn't have colored paper and you didn't feel like coloring it in. So now, if we come over here, this is what I did in my other video. I'm going to come up here to offset. And now it will make an offset. So what you could do here, I'm going to hit apply. So now this will cut out and this shadow will cut out. So then when you cut out this in paper, you can then glue it onto here. And then you will have a layered sentiment for the front of your card or project, scrapbook page, whatever it is you're doing. So that's how you would do that. This would also work if you were cutting out something to make a t-shirt, because the t-shirt vinyl, you can actually layer it on top of each other. So you could spell something out here and make a shadow of it and put it on top of each other like this when you ironed it on. And that would also work. So that's some basics about text boxes. And if you have any other questions, because this was a request for someone to, someone requested for me to show how to do more about text boxes. I hope this helped. And if you have any other questions, please send me a message and I will be more than happy to make another one. And until next time, stay crafty.